Hello YouTube and welcome back to Let's Play Warframe, which is not technically a Let's Play because I don't really do any kind of Let's Play stuff with it. However, today they dropped some new Prime stuff, which if you play the game you'll understand what that means. If you don't play the game, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. And it's kind of a long explanation, so I'd kind of prefer for people to be in chat before I explain it. That way I don't feel like I'm repeating myself. But hello, Rexus.
Excellent.
Welcome to the stream.
Operator.
And thank you for joining. How are you today?
Safe and sound.
What I'm going to be doing today is farming for Chroma Prime. Now, voila. I'm going for Lith, which does drop on Mercury. Yes, Apollodorus, Odin's Puisade. So I'm going to be going for, I believe it's Lith and Meso. Just double checking here, there's an Odin. Okay. So the way this is going to work is I go to Mercury, and what's Odin? Interception. That's what I'm gonna do because wait, I'm gonna do well. For now, I'll do solo, just to make sure that it's actually gonna work all right. So for anyone that doesn't know, well, actually, no, I've explained it before, and I'll wait till someone actually asks what I'm doing before I start explaining it. I will say that if anyone's watching this, I suppose as a YouTube video after I've streamed it, I do have a Discord now. So that's a thing that I'm still very noobish about.
Capture the towers and decode any
so I don't know a lot about what I can do with it. But it is a good place for you guys to be able to chat and give me feedback on if you want me to play a specific game or not. Like today, I was actually asking right before I started streaming if I should stream this game or if I should just play regular Bloons or whatever. And I did technically say that I was going to play Bloons Tower Defense or Bloons Adventure Time Tower Defense today, but because of the whole Prime stuff, I just kind of got in the Prime Relic Hunter mode and decided, hey, I'd really like to play this game today. So that's why I'm playing it. And the way that this mode works is obviously I'm trying to capture these 4 points on the map. But of course, when there's enemies around, I really don't like this tile set. When there's enemies around, it doesn't let me capture it. So I need to capture or defeat all the enemies so I can capture it. I am very distracted. I think I mentioned this last time I was playing this game, but playing this game does require much more concentration than a Bloons game, because this is pretty much constant input, and it would be good and most likely faster if I played this multiplayer or like a with other people, because if I was playing this with other people, then wow, I cannot hit him. Okay, if I was playing this with other people, then they can help me defend each of the towers or nodes or whatever you want to call it very easily, because the enemies are not very tough. Obviously, I'm like one-shotting them. Totally just shot that guy through the console. Pretty awesome. I'm also really bad at knowing where the enemies are coming from or shooting from. And he's not even nearby. I didn't even need to kill him. So you are nearby, and now you're dead. I'm using a gun that has 2 bullets per clip, essentially.
The enemy have taken the tower. You must recapture it.
The interesting thing about it is when you press the mouse button or the primary fire button or whatever, the first time it'll fire 1 shot, and then when you let go of the mouse button, it'll fire its 2nd shot. or I can just tap it real quick and rapid fire the two, which is a pretty interesting mechanic, but it's not super helpful for on-the-fly sort of rapid fire spray and pray type of firing, which is what I tend to do whenever I do the little jump up into the air thing. I would like to think that I am pretty good at aiming in general, except for that one obviously, or that other guy that I had trouble getting. And I was supposed to count or check how long it takes to do one round of this, because essentially I'm going to be trying to do.
We have lost control of a tower.
Looked like they just started capturing it and then it got taken on. But let's see. Lower the volume on my phone because that's probably a bit down.
We are
for you guys.
dominating. Keep it up.
Tower
lost.
I don't know. I feel like I was just in the middle of a train of thought, but now I don't remember. Oh, check. I'm trying to do 4 rounds of this mode because the relic that I want, or the oh wait, oops, I just realized I turned off my way of
total control.
Watching chat. Okay. Also, it's possible. I just realized. Nope, okay, I'm good. I was gonna say it's possible that I'm not seeing chat just because there wasn't anyone saying anything, and it confused me for a second.
The enemy have captured a tower.
What am I trying to say? I'm trying to get 4 rounds of this because the relic that I want to drop drops on the A rotation, and technically there's another relic on B and C rotation. And what that means is the first 2 rounds, or the first 2 rotations essentially, will give me the relic, or has a chance at giving me the relic I want. I believe it's like a 10% chance, and that is actually it. I want the Lith C3 relic. I specifically would like 10 of them because, or I believe 10. I actually have to double check that. I'm pretty sure I want 10 because each one will only give me like a 10% chance to get the item out of that relic that I want if I refine it to make it radiant. Which again, if you haven't played this game, will make no sense to you. But I'll explain it once I get to that point.
The enemy have captured a
tower. But the point was that I want to do this 4 times because the first 2 rounds. Oh, also, how long is that? Maybe like 5 minutes to get through the first round, and it would go a little bit faster. I didn't have to worry about all these stinking enemies, and not that they're difficult, just that they slow down my progress towards capturing towers and whatnot. Tower captured. And I haven't tested it, but I'm pretty sure that I gain, what's it called? I gain that percentage completion or whatever
this tower is
faster
ours now.
if I have all 4 towers. But there we go. So the top left under the minimap, you can see what percent I have the message decoded, essentially.
You must recapture it.
And like I was saying, I'm pretty sure that it goes down faster, or it goes up faster, I guess, when I have all 4 towers captured. And that's why it'd be great to do this with 4 people, so that each of us can essentially just take 1 tower and defend it, because this is a very easy mission, or at least easy level, like enemy difficulty and whatnot, so don't really have to worry about how long it takes to kill the enemies. It's just a matter of finding them and stopping them from capturing the tower. Now there is actually a good reason, or a pretty decent reason, for why you would want to let them capture a tower, because each time you capture a tower you gain experience called affinity. And not only do you get 300 every time you capture a tower, but then it's like an additional 400 for whenever you capture all 4 towers. So if you just let them capture 1 and then retake it real quick, and then let them capture another and then retake it real quick, then you can actually get experience pretty nicely. Obviously, right now, I'm not really trying to focus on my experience. I'm just trying to get the relic. So ideally, I just want to get through this as fast as possible, so I can do it like today or something. That's why it's probably better for me to just run around and actually look at all the different spots rather than just wait for the indicator on the top. I think I just heard the noise that I was listening for.
We have lost control of a tower.
I wasn't paying attention because that one was actually telling me that this one was being taken. But I didn't notice in time. That's fine. I mean, it's obviously not a huge downside. Oh, that's right. So there's 4 relics that I'm going to be looking for. The Lith C3, Neo T3, I think.
We have successfully decoded the message.
And
clear the area.
Axie C3.
More data is being broadcasted. But
have it written down
risk
like
going back into the field.
it was I don't know, some other TK or something. Not TK.
Another message.
Other thing.
Make
like
sure
T3.
the enemy never receives it.
I think it just repeated that. But anyways, the point I was trying to get at was
tower online.
Am I still live? Yeah. Okay. Double checking. The point I was trying to get at is on the A rotations, so the first 2 rounds, I have a 10% chance at getting that relic I wanted. And then on the B rotation, I think it's like an 8% chance of getting the relic I'm trying to go for. A different relic, but still one I'm trying to go for. And then on the C rotation, so the 4th round, it's like a 12% chance, I think, or 11 point something percent. So that would be
this tower is ours
about
now.
20%, obviously. So if I do this 5 times, I should theoretically get the relics once, at least. If I just did my math right. I feel like I did not do my math right on that, that calculation. There's a pretty good chance that I should have it within 5 attempts. But it takes about 20 minutes for each attempt.
Tower captured. Beginning
roughly.
Stream decode now.
It's a little bit of a different, or a variable for how long this will take, because obviously if I take a tower and I'm a little bit slow in taking it, then that can make it take longer. So they just keep running up and causing conflict. And it's going to take a while, which is why it is better to do it with 4 people. But if I do it with 4 people, there's a chance that some of them will just want to leave after the first 1 or 2 rounds.
You have captured a radio tower. The enemy
or they'll
have
just
a tower.
really bad for some reason. I don't know. So by doing it single player, then I am sure that I'm going to be doing 4 rounds, and I don't have to worry about that.
Now.
But the length is probably going to be a bit longer, potentially. Well, I mean, I guess it is kind of guaranteed that it'll be a little longer,
we have
but
control of
you know
all
what I mean.
towers.
Shouldn't be too much of a difference.
Lost control of a tower.
I would assume the difference between the amount of time extra it takes for me to do this solo versus the amount of time I would lose if everyone wanted to leave at like the 2nd rotation or something.
Keep fighting.
You know what I mean? I'm not entirely sure I know what I mean there, but let's see. We probably almost took this time. That would be bad. Now, I don't really need to worry too much about the enemies that are just here, like while I'm standing around and it's my tower. I specifically need to worry about the enemies that are at that terminal or at that terminal, because they're the ones that are actually hacking this thing. So technically, it would be a good idea to just stand around and let them attack me, and let all the enemies that can spawn try to hurt me while I just stand around and pull a Kirito and not really take any damage from them. That guy does have a lot of health, though. Totally missed that enemy. Nice. Okay, so, yeah, like I was saying, I should just let them live. That is a good idea that I'm not doing. Just because why not? Why not take them down? I just expect that. But obviously getting experience is pretty decent. Because, oh hey, my weapons are doing okay. They're leveling up at least once. Oh dang, was there a conflict?
The enemy have taken a tower.
Curses.
You must recapture it.
Looked like there was conflict on D. So I'm not sure if it's going to go down anytime soon.
We are in total control. Keep fighting.
I guess the enemy must have just been coming through, and that's why it said conflict.
We cannot allow the enemy to learn of our espionage.
And I always find it funny that they're like, oh, you have to eliminate all the enemies. But then
the enemy have deployed fierce
there's no enemies.
Are you willing to
Either
stay
they'll
and
automatically
decode more
kill the
messages?
enemies for you, or you just have to wait for the timer to run out, and then it just skips ahead anyways.
The
I
enemy
always find that
has
kind of funny.
Stronger
I'm not sure what the requirements are for that sort of thing.
Tower captured.
But
Beginning stream decode now.
This should be the last one for the rotation. Technically, I can continue after the 4th rotation and just do another another AABC rotation. And I probably will, depending on what time is it. Yeah, it's 46.
The enemy have captured a tower.
Yeah, sure. I'll go for 2 rotations, or 2 full rotations. So AABC, AABC. For anyone that speaks Warframe lingo. If that's even how you say it in Warframe lingo. I'm not even an expert in Warframe lingo. Or like, you know, how the cool kids say it. I know what the game says, sort of. I mean, the game doesn't technically say AABC. But anyways, let's see. What was I going to say? That's right. The reason why you typically wouldn't want to just go through for another 4 rotations is because the enemies technically get stronger each time that you go through one round. I'm pretty sure each round, it might only be every 4 rounds, but most likely every round they get a bit stronger. And this time I will just kind of sit around. Or why sit? You can meditate. Meditate. Just kind of float here and look at some giant sword. And the bow looks really cool on my back. But, yeah. And this is one of the easiest maps. One of the easiest maps to do this on. Which is why my super high level awesome tank isn't really taking much damage. If you see in the top right, there's my health up there at 840 and then my shield at 630. But then my Rhino Iron Skin is that 2,100 something as they're slowly whittling it down. So that's why I can just stand here and just kind of keep an eye on where they're going. Trying to take over another tower. No, I stand here and make them feel inadequate. Because not only does it give me extra life, essentially, like an extra life bar, it also makes me immune to like knockback and stagger. And oh wait, no, they're taking control point D. Okay. So now I can just stand around and wait and see which tower they start to go after next. Nope. Are you? Okay, I was gonna say, are you just gonna? No, you are. You're just gonna make me kill you. Gotcha. Well, at least they're all here, and they're not going on to any of the other towers that I'm not at. And how come they get to throw grenades? How come we never get to throw grenades? Lame. But my shield and my iron skin is running a little low, so they'll probably break it soon. But if I don't want to wait for them to break it, I can actually just jump off a cliff, and then that actually dispels it, and then I can just recast it. And 6,080, pretty good, I would say. Pretty good amount of health when they do like 100 every couple seconds if they're all firing at me.
Message decoded.
So huzzah, I've decoded the message.
Clear out the remaining enemy forces.
Yeah, it already cleared out the remaining enemy forces
but there are
for
more
me.
messages to be decoded. Will
And
you
Mace
stay?
B2, that is not the relic I wanted.
They are broadcasting
So, let's
another
try
message.
again.
Make sure the enemy
And,
never receives it.
Of course, after I get the relic I want, I'm pretty sure
Beginning
Meso
stream
B2 is not the
decode
one.
now.
Do I have it open? Can I check? I mean, to open up demo. Phone.
Tower online.
No, I'm looking for Meso T3. Not, I think that was Meso B2 or something. So I'm looking for T3. But it's going to take me at least 10 more minutes, or 15 more minutes, for me to have another chance at it.
Online.
And then after that 15 minutes,
Tower
another
lost.
5. So essentially 20 minutes until I'm sure that I don't have a chance of getting it. That's not the right way to put it. Until I finish the stream, I guess. So,
Tower lost.
dang. I probably should just do this multiplayer, or like with a team, because it would be much easier just to stand around at one tower and have everyone defend their own spots. And can I break that? That looks shiny, like I should be able to break that. But,
this tower is ours now.
what was I gonna say? Because the relics that I'm trying to hunt for did just come out today, there's most likely people that are farming it, same way I am. Maybe not on this map exactly, but they're looking for someone to run this map. Or, no, what am I saying? They're looking for someone to try to get the relics with. And there are other maps where you can get these relics, but they're at different,
The enemy have
they're
captured
different
a tower.
modes, and they have different drop rates. Hello Aiden Gaming, welcome to the stream.
Tower captured.
Thank you for
Beginning
joining. How are you
stream
today?
decode now.
But there are other maps that I can do to get the relics I want, but it's just kind of easier, in my opinion, to do interception because it's a lot of waiting, which I know that I complain about Bloom Star events being a lot of waiting, but this is different because this is obviously a much more interactive waiting. Yes, interactive waiting. You have no clue what this game is. Well, let me tell you, this game is one of the best games in the world. It's called Warframe, completely free, and by that I mean you'll probably spend like $300 if you have played as many hours as I have, but you are absolutely not required to. It is a legitimately free-to-play game. There are ways to earn the real money currency, platinum. There are ways to earn it in-game, again, completely free. It does take a lot of time, and there's a lot of grinding or farming involved that can be a bit of a turn-off to some people, which I definitely understand. But if you have friends that are playing it, and you just enjoy playing it on your own, this game is highly rewarding, very rewarding for players that just want to play and not pay and level up and grind and farm and all those cool words. I love it. There's a lot to talk about. Like, I don't know if you were around. I'm assuming you're not, or weren't. If you were around for my great Fantasy Life rant of 2013, whenever it was, probably like 2016. I don't even remember. But yeah, I could talk about this game for many hours. Fantastic. But
Dominating.
yeah.
Keep it up.
If you have any specific questions, feel free to let me know. But essentially, what I'm trying to do is stop the enemies from taking control of these 4 towers, and I'm very overpowered to this level, so the enemies are dying pretty quickly.
The enemy
So it's
have
very easy.
deployed
They also don't do
fierce
very much damage to me
Are you
at all.
willing to stay and decode more
And
messages?
I'm trying to do 3 more rounds, and each round takes about 5 minutes, so I'll probably be playing for another, for another
I have
15
detected
minutes.
another message incoming. Capture and decode
I'll
the
most
signal.
likely get to round 8.
You
or
have
so,
captured
like-
a radio tower.
What am I trying to say? I'll probably stream for another 15 minutes. Oh, you gotta go? Alright. See you later then. So for anyone
Tower
else watching
online.
this, I will probably get to round 8, and I'm on round 6 right now. So yeah, I'll just give you a time frame, I guess,
Tower lost.
of how long.
Tower captured. Beginning stream code
see.
now.
What was I gonna do? Was I gonna do something? I don't remember. I like how apparently there's an enemy on the other side of this wall, but they're just standing there.
Tower
As if they're hiding
online.
from me. They are smart. Also, these things. It's a bit spoilery to explain in its entirety, but for the most part, all you need to know is that it gives you a special kind of experience, or a special kind of affinity, when you pick up that gold glowy thingy that I did. It's called Focus. But the way it works is that you normally gain the focus affinity as you're killing enemies. Again, there's some minor things I'm choosing to omit, but essentially you gain experience, and collecting that golden orb thingy will allow you to gain more experience for a certain amount of time, based on how many enemies you kill. And for some reason, my mind has it set to where I know if I kill more enemies while I'm doing that, I'll get more experience. But if I already know I'm not going to be killing that many enemies, or I'm not going to be doing it super efficiently, then I feel like I'm missing out on that theoretical, if I was more efficient, experience. So for some reason that translates in my brain as I shouldn't pick that up so that I'm not missing out on that extra experience I could be getting, when technically it's not picking it up that's making me miss out on extra experience. And I am fully aware of how that logic works and or doesn't work. And yet I still just have this aversion to picking them up because I know I'm not going to be very efficient when I do. And it's a very strange mindset to have. Very strange indeed. But let's see. That's 67%. So like 2/3 of 5 minutes. How much is that? I don't even want to do the math on that. I could, especially if I had it written down, but in my head, I'm not going to try to think of what 2/3 of 5 minutes is. But I'm actually coming up on 4/5 of 5 minutes, which means that's just 1 minute left, theoretically, depending on how long this actually is taking. And just going to let those enemies stay in there and hide, since I can't even shoot them from here. That way there's less enemies that are running around trying to take the towers. Which, as I was saying earlier, does make this a little bit more boring. Too much shooting at me. Where are they shooting from? I like how the flame is coming through the glass, but I can't actually shoot them from here.
We have successfully
someone was actually
decoded
trying
the
to take
message
the
for
D
the
tower.
area. More
But
data is
let's
being
see.
broadcasted.
What I was trying
Are
to say
you willing
earlier
to
that I
risk going
didn't
back
quite
into
get
the
out of my
field?
head was I could just do
Try
one
and
more
capture
round,
our signal.
and if
Be
I
careful,
get the
though.
relic I want,
The
I
enemy
could
has
just leave
surely
after that,
rallied
which would
stronger
make sense.
reinforcements.
Because I technically only need
This
one
tower is
relic,
ours now.
and it's possible for me to get the item I want out of that one relic. I would just like 10, because it's roughly a 10% chance, I think, if I remember correctly, maybe a 20% chance.
You have captured
Probably
a
10%,
radio.
but roughly a 10% chance of getting the item I want from that relic. So that's why I want 10, so it's a pretty good chance I'll get one
You
out
have
of those 10.
captured a radio tower.
However, if I just have one,
The
because I wouldn't
enemy
want to
have
get
taken a
10
tower.
and then
You
get
must
the item I
recapture
want out of the
it.
first one, and then feel like
This
I
tower
wasted
is
a bunch of
ours
time
now.
getting those other 9. But on the other hand, I wouldn't want to stop after getting one and then need another 20 minutes to get the second one and not get it from the first one. Does that make sense?
We have
I'm not sure if I
control
explained that
of 4
correctly.
towers.
Essentially, I'm trying
We
to
have
stop
lost
myself from
control
wasting
of a
time,
tower.
even though there's a risk of wasting time in doing that. Does that make sense? I'm not sure.
We are in total control. Keep fighting.
I still take a shot. But I wasn't even moving that time. So the enemies are getting a little tougher.
Tower lost.
Not very much. They are distracting me though. I'm defending the towers. Again, with the whole, would have been nice to do
We are dominating. Keep it up.
Let's see. So there's no indicator, or it's not indicating that they're taking any other towers. I think the lights, like the beacon or whatever, should shimmer or like flicker. What's the word? Pulse? I don't know. Whenever they're taking a tower, that's probably how that works. I know it does give off a specific sound whenever you're within the range of the tower and an enemy starts capturing it. It's got like a little siren or alarm or whatever. But I don't believe you can hear that noise when you're not within the range. And this is a very tanky enemy. He's getting quite a few headshots and he's still survived. And there was, yep, a dangerous enemy
have captured a tower.
right there. Knox. He got a lot of armor and releases toxic fumes when he dies. And do quite a bit of damage when you're not prepared for it. Which I'm not technically, I mean, I guess I'm prepared for it because I've got the iron skin which makes me immune to it. But it's not like I have resistance. But I think immunity is typically better than resistance.
Taken a tower.
It's just a matter of like my immunity can go away at times, while resistance typically doesn't. So I guess that would be a reason to want resistance rather than immunity. But I have no idea.
Control of all 4 towers.
Just gotta go up this one. Nice. Doggo. Dead doggo. That was a little dark. Plus I think they're cats technically. Not dogs. Are they? I'm pretty sure they're the cat thing. The cravat. What's it called? Hieta? Hieta cravat. Very specific Warframe.
The remaining enemies must not report back to their command. Eliminate everyone.
Ooh, 19 extract.
Extraction is available.
Because 19 extract is a resource that you pretty much only get from alerts. And the alerts, I believe they're like guaranteed to drop once every 8 hours, maybe once every 4 hours.
Tower captured.
So they are technically available for a decent amount of time, or like at decent intervals, but because you can't actively just go to a specific mission and farm 19 extract, it can be a bit rare. Like you need to specifically do the alerts and be available. Capture that so fast. Just for getting a little stronger. But so 19 extract. I don't have that much of it. I think I only have like 5. While most other resources, I've got like hundreds of thousands. At least, you know, like 50,000 maybe of most other resources. I should probably check. But there's always those few resources that are a bit difficult to farm that I'm actually a little low on.
This tower is ours now.
Just trying to think of like other things to talk about. I know I was talking about how I could talk about Warframe forever, or at least hours. And now I'm struggling with things to think about. Just because I don't know what you guys would actually want to hear me talk about.
Fighting.
Alright. Considering that at the very least, oh well, it says there's 3 people watching, so that includes me and at least 2 other people, I guess. But let's see. I'm kind of curious how different my viewership would be on Twitch versus YouTube, specifically for Warframe, because the developers of Warframe have their own live streams, where obviously they stream this game, and they do so on Twitch. However, they do also stream on YouTube. So I'm curious if that generates a sort of YouTube audience for Warframe, or if it is mostly on Twitch, because like there are 2 big streams that they do during the week, the dev stream and prime time, Those they do on YouTube as well, but then
The enemy captured a tower.
but then there's also a couple of other streams that they do throughout the week that they don't put on YouTube.
We are dominating. Keep
And
it up.
those are more of the chill farming streams, kind of like this one. Whereas the others are usually used to showcase certain updates or features or something. A little bit, again, a little bit difficult to explain unless you played the game or have seen any of those streams. But I will admit, though I probably shouldn't, like it's probably streamer etiquette, maybe. And like I've discussed this concept before on my channel, I think. I'm not sure if I should admit when I'm running out of steam in terms of things to talk about and concentration and whatnot, or if I should just keep that stuff to myself. Because like I remember one specific conversation that I would generally have during an episode that I know I shouldn't is the idea of complaining about no one watching, because the only people that are going to hear that are the people that are watching, and it makes the people that are watching feel a little bit less appreciated to a certain degree. I mean, some people probably don't care,
We
but
cannot allow the
for the
enemy
most
to
part, I
learn
would
of
assume
our
that
espionage.
most people
The remaining
don't
enemy
like hearing
personnel.
someone say or
More
complain
data
about
is being harvested.
not
Are
having
you willing
viewers
to
or
risk
something.
going back into the field?
Meso S8, not what I wanted. So I just spent
Good work today.
40
Not
minutes
only
trying to
have
get
we
something that I
decoded the
wanted,
enemy
and I didn't.
transmissions, we have
Which
also
is kind of
disrupted their
but understandable.
communications.
Because that was a roughly a 20% chance, sort of, to get it. So I mean, if I spent like 100 hours, not 100 hours, 100 minutes trying to get it, and I didn't, then that would be bad. So the Plague Start and Ghoul Purge is going on at the same time. Interesting. What do I need? 11,000 more? I could do that in one day. Oh yeah, and I've probably got the thing. Never mind. So anyways, there's a lot to do in this game. So very much to do. But let's see. How many void traces do I have? Let's see, 3. So I need that Chroma Prime Neuroptics. I wouldn't mind maybe Cyberus Prime Blueprint. I don't know if I have that. And the Silva and Aegis Prime hilt. That would be good. But so I need 100 void traces in order to make me have a 10%, maybe 20%. That looks pretty good. Like that looks like a 20% chance. I don't know. A better chance, either 10 or 20. I can never remember. In order to do that, considering I have 2 relics right now, I would want 200, which means that I need to do like.
Operator, I've run diagnostic
How many did I
regressions.
have again?
All systems
I know it was
are
less than 100.
You don't need
It's like
to thank me.
63 maybe. I want to double check just because I'm bored and I don't want to stream quite yet. 53. Okay, so if I want 147 more void traces, that's essentially 14 to 15 more missions where I do these void fissures. Gotta stop because I have a feeling I'm about to sneeze. But what's interesting is I could do maybe like this one, the series defense, and I can do that where like every 5 minutes, or essentially every 5 rounds or waves or whatever of defense, you get a chance at getting a relic. So theoretically, I'd have to double check if I have a chance at getting the relics I want from this mission in particular. But I could go there and essentially farm for relics for 20 minutes while also opening relics for 20 minutes. The issue there is that I need to do a Meso relic, which I do have a few. It looks like I have a few. Yeah, 8. Well, that's Valbomb Prime. I don't want to get rid of that. I could probably do this one. So whenever I have more than like 5, ideally more than 10 of a single relic, I'll tend to just open a bunch of those, since it usually has pieces that I don't really need. Some of these are pretty rare, which is why I don't use them, or I don't have them open, because I want to be able to make them radiant, like, where was it? This one. But anyways, that's enough Warframe for today. Probably balloons tomorrow. Probably. Again, I was going to talk about, oh, hey, if anyone's still watching this, then let me know in the comments and blah, blah, blah. But I don't know how many people who don't want to watch Warframe would watch to the end of a Warframe video just to hear me say, hey, if you don't want me to play Warframe, let me know in my Discord that I have in the description, or a link in the description of this video / stream. Or just leave comments on pretty much any of my videos. As far as I know, I should be getting a notification every time anyone comments on any of my videos. But I have a lot of videos. So I haven't actually tested that. I don't know if that actually works that way. But yeah, as far as I know, that's how that works. So if you ever want to get in touch with me, either comment on any of my videos or follow the link to the Discord, and then you can chat with me pretty much whenever. But anyways, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.